What up, everybody? Cakeytaste here, pixelhangover.com. Check it out. We're getting a little Fraps test. Essentially, I got a new gaming computer, Cakeytaste. Cakeytaste got a new gaming computer. Decided he got to check down a couple things, installed Guild Wars 2, been playing it a little bit. It's pretty fantastic in every possible way. Really digging it so far. This is just a quick view of, I just tried to do one fast PvP game. This is the organized PvP, not the World v World. I'm running with my Mesmer, Jesus Christ, I can't even speak. My Mesmer, M-E-S-M-E-R, and I'm running with a Legion build. And by Legion build, what I mean by that is a shitload, just a flat shitload of illusions. My illusions are all buffed. My illusions do more damage. They have a lot more health. I gain life on my illusions, that type of thing. I'm using this build that Togrim came up with during his theory crafting and stuff like that. And I'll put a link to the build here in the info because he's a pretty intelligent human being and he seems to come up with fantastic specs for every MMO that I've ever played. So I'll put a link to his website and the build that I'm using here. You can see here I'm chasing myself a little Asura guy who tries to trick back to me with a little stealth. I get doubled here. So the first thing I do is I make sure I've got all my illusions are out. I'm getting away. I see a friendly come in to help, so I'm going to turn around here once I get at least far enough away to re-engage, and you'll see me kind of go back in and right here. I'm using, right now I have my staff equipped. I'm using the staff primarily for the staff 4 armor, which gives you random boons and dispels conditions, as well as the that right there, staff 5 for my AoE. Rain down on fools. And then my primary weapons are sword and pistol. They seem to synergize really well. Togrim was right about that. The sword 2 ability makes you invulnerable, and it's essentially a channeled rapid attack, and it'll cut people down. You see, I use it as my primary put down move here. I'm doing decent damage. My pistol 4 is an amazing illusion that comes out and just starts going full on Gatling gun on cats. You can see there I'll swap back and forth a lot between my weapons. That's what you have to do in this game. And a lot of times if I'm getting attacked like I was previously, I'll put my staff 5 down right on top of me, and that'll usually make people back away from me, and it gives me a couple seconds. This Mesmer here's trying to get away from me, but I got a buddy, and flash back to him, finish him. Running through things here. Still me and this one, looks like I guess he's a ranger, isn't he? He might be a warrior, I can't tell. Honestly, I have no idea. I'm finding it very difficult to pinpoint without seeing people use their abilities exactly who everyone is. That's a Mesmer that I'm attacking right now. You can tell by the little icon actually on the target portrait right on the very top left. You see, cut him to pieces, finish him up. He's healing a little bit. Got my buddy down, so I'll get my buddy back up and keep moving. Just chasing him, trying to finish him off here. Sword 3, Sword 2, finish it. And then one of my favorite things about Guild Wars PvP is that you have to revive and finish your enemies. It adds a team element into the game, into the PvP. It's really fun, and I really dig it a whole lot. If you guys aren't playing Guild Wars 2, you should check it out. Check it out, pixelhangover.com. Check it out, all those things. But yeah, so it looks like Fraps is working well. I'm pulling right at, I guess during this game I was pulling right at about 70 frames a second with Fraps running. So that's not horrible at all. Chase some bad guys down these hills. Anyway, if you guys are playing Guild Wars, let me know what class you're really digging. I really love this Mesmer. Just because there's all kinds of shit that happens with it. I also started a warrior with some buddies of mine. We're going to run a full squad. Look, this guy somehow disappeared while I was getting a revive on him. But yeah, I've got a bunch of buddies, and we're going to try to do some stuff. So yeah, that's what he did. He just blinked away. He stealthed. So you can see I'm sitting here trying to finish one of these bad guys before they drop me, but then I see that they've got 2, and I'm at 10% health, so I got to get the fuck out of here. Sorry, friend.
My leg.
My leg is hurting, as you heard. So yeah, one of the things I really like about this Mesmer build is that it's got a lot of, not a lot of CC necessarily. It really got 2 CC moves, but I have a lot of getaway with my blink. I'm using blink right now. You can see that set up as my number 9.
Enemy captured the windmill.
And then I have a continual. My Phantasm, I guess what is that? 7 Phantasm is the. I can't remember the name of it, but it removes conditions for me and removes buffs from enemies. So here I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. We're down by 150 almost. It doesn't seem like anybody's really doing work. So I know that there's enemies back up here where I just was. So I'm going to go try to help this friendly take out these 2 guys that he's fighting. Always run in, throwing down my staff 5 first if they're going to sit there and be glug. This guy is just getting eaten up. You can tell he has no toughness at all, so I'm just eating right through him. Finish him. Sword 2. Get the finishing move. Swap targets. Finishing move. The first one that I killed was an illusion. But there we go. Little killing spree. Little killing spree for Kablabo! But yeah, I think I'm just going to let the rest of this pretty much play out so you guys can kind of see what happens. I know that at a certain point I sort of duck around walls and I try to hide from a 2-piece that ends up dropping me at the end of the game, but they can't finish me. And that's one of the things we were talking about a second ago, how important finishing opponents is. And I use my down 2 state to create a clone of myself and get the fuck away while people are doing it. I use clone 3s or down 3s to create an illusion that starts backstabbing the Jesus out of enemies. I thought we were going to down this guy, so then I'd jump down to follow him, but his health regen just gets monster. I see 3 enemies coming from my left, so obviously I bail out. And obviously I'm not going to just let this play because now I'm interested in watching what happens. This guy's not getting away. I can't let him get away. That staff 2 there actually blinks you backwards and summons a new illusion to cast your little bolt action, which is okay, really good, and like when you're not moving, but when you're trying to chase somebody, it sets you back a couple steps. Lead in with my pistol 5 for the stun, follow up, sword 3 to teleport to him for the slow and stun, go sword 2 hot on him, finish him, and move on with my life. That was a little 1v1 that I enjoyed. So this is right here where I start playing with this little warrior. I see him cut up, I guess that's a guardian. I see him cut up around that left side still. I'm kind of trying to figure out what he's doing, decide if I'm going to engage or not, make sure that we have full cap on this. I turn around and now they decide to approach me because they have 2 friends. So you'll see one of my 2 CC moves coming up here in just a minute. Never stand in people's rings of fire, by the way. That's just not safe. So yeah, so I'm getting banged on here by a Mesmer and a warrior, I believe. I decide real quick that I start off with the Mesmer, or I guess that might even be an Elementalist, isn't it? Yeah, it's an Elementalist. Elementalists are usually soft, but I can't seem to, he keeps kiting me back, so I decide to switch targets to the warrior, see if I can drop, or guardian, I can't tell, I'm sorry everybody, I'll get better at this. This is my first video for this thing. So I bird up on the Elementalist, which CCs him, can't do anything, and I just decide to start fighting, and then the warrior gets a couple really big hits on me. I decide to get the shit out of here, and this is where we have our little down state fight. You can see I'm just trying to get the shit away. I'm kiting, I'm using my heal, using my boon phantasm, and then right about here the Elementalist just catches up, and then I've got lightning for the next 10 seconds, just getting charged in my face. Hit him with the sword 2 though, let him know that I didn't give a shit. Drop my staff 5 behind me, essentially. Roll out of one of the bursts, but the second burst looks like it's going to get me. So here's what we do. I see how low health he is. So instead of healing, I create an illusion of myself, and I start pinging him with my downed 1. Because I know I can drop him. There it is. I put him down, so now I start healing myself back up. But unfortunately, here comes his boy. So I quickly summon a down 3 illusion, down 2 to move myself away. So now they have 2 illusions to deal with if they want to pick the wrong one. You can see they're over there finishing the incorrect illusion first. I'm only about half health. I see that I'm going to be in trouble here, so I wait for him to start channeling, down 2, and it's a perfect placement I end up behind this little barrel, and they have no fucking idea that I'm over here. They assume that they got me, but then the game ends. Decent little performance by Kablamo, I guess. You know, number 2 on the team. But I see the Warrior still here, so as the game ends, of course, I try to get a quick a little bit of damage on him, see if I can finish him off. But yeah, Guild Wars 2, that's some SVP. Excuse me, PvP. SP. Jesus Christ, by a vowel. PixelHangover.com. Check it out. Rate, subscribe, thumbs up.